Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I, Sobia Afzal, welcome you all to chemistry class. Students, in previous lesson we have discussed about the difference between physical change and chemical change. What are chemical reactions, examples of chemical reactions and their applications in daily life. In today's lesson, we will discuss that how to represent a chemical reaction and how to balance a chemical equation. What are balanced chemical equations and what are unbalanced chemical equations. So, before starting our topic, uh, you can see this expression on the left hand side and right hand side. Um, how to balance these expressions? On left hand side, you can see there are two fishermen, but on the right hand side, there are only three fish. So to balance this expression, there should be two fishermen on the right side. Then these three cookies are missing on the left hand side, and in the third expression you can see there are two cats and two mice on the left hand side, but on the right hand side there are only two mice. So there should be two cats on the right hand side too. Same, this principle is applied to balance the chemical equations. So let's start our topic. What is a chemical equation? A chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction, or we can just say that when a chemical reaction is represented in terms of symbols, formulae, and signs, then that expression is called chemical equation. And in chemical equation, reactants are written on the left hand side. Reactants are substances that take part in a chemical reaction, while products are written on the right hand side. Products are substances that are formed as a result of a chemical reaction, and coefficients are the numbers which are written in front of the molecules. A chemical equation is represented by an arrow. An arrow can be read as yields or produces, and it also shows the direction of a chemical reaction. That reaction proceeds from left to right side or from reactant side to product side. The plus sign is read as and or plus, and it is used to differentiate between the reactants and products. When more than one reactants are present in a chemical reaction or more than one products are present in a chemical reaction, then we use the sign of plus. So plus symbol is used in a chemical reaction, an arrow is used, then physical states of reactants and products are mentioned along with the formulae by these signs. For solid, small s in parenthesis is used. For liquids, L, small l, and for gases, small g is used inside the parenthesis. And for aqueous solutions, we use AQ. Aqueous solutions are those solutions for which water is a medium. Then this triangle on the arrow, small triangle, is used to show that heat is added in this reaction. And in an if in an arrow there is any element like platinum, nickel present, in this case platinum is present, it shows that this element or this substance is behaving as a catalyst in a chemical reaction. A catalyst just speeds up a chemical reaction and it does not consume itself. Students, we have um, discussed formulae in very detail. Now you can see here that hydrogen reacts with oxygen to produce water molecules. In this case, 2 is written in front of hydrogen molecule and in front of water molecule. It is coefficient, while for hydrogen molecule H2 oxygen molecule 2 and water 2 with hydrogen, these are subscripts. These are written to the low right of the symbol of an element, and a subscript tells us the number of atoms of an element in a molecule. While balancing a chemical reaction, remember students, we never change these subscripts, and we cannot change chemical formula of a molecule or a compound. We can just change the coefficients. Clear? Students, to balance a chemical equation, we cannot change these subscripts. We can only change these coefficients to balance a chemical equation. Now here an equation is given. Bromine, a molecule of bromine reacts with aluminium to form aluminium bromide. It is not a balanced chemical equation because in reactant side we can see there are 2 atoms of bromine, while in product side 6 subscript is showing that there are 6 bromine atoms. On reactant side there is only 1 aluminium atom, while on product side there are 2 aluminium atoms. So it means that this equation is unbalanced. How can we identify that the given reaction is a balanced chemical equation or an unbalanced chemical equation? A chemical equation in which the number of atoms of each element on both sides of the equation, reactant side and product side, are not equal, are called unbalanced chemical equations. While the chemical equation in which the number of atoms on reactant side or on product side are equal is called a balanced chemical equation. So here you can see that this coefficient is multiplied by the subscript. 3 2s are 6. There are 6 bromine atoms, while on product side there are 6 bromine atoms, and 2 coefficient is used with aluminium. It means there are 2 aluminium atoms, and on product side there are 2 aluminium atoms. So this reaction is not balanced because number of atoms on both sides of the equation are not equal, while this reaction is a balanced chemical equation because number of atoms on reactant sides and on product sides is equal. Students, in this equation you can see that oxygen reacts with hydrogen to form water. Is this equation a balanced chemical equation or unbalanced chemical equation? It is an unbalanced chemical equation. It is not a balanced chemical equation because we can see that on reactant side there are 2 oxygen atoms, while on product side there is only 1 oxygen atom because no subscript is written with oxygen atom. While hydrogen, on reactant side there are 2 hydrogen atoms, and on product sides there are 2 hydrogen atoms. So in this chemical equation hydrogen is balanced but oxygen is not balanced. We have to follow the law of conservation of mass, which we will study in detail in this chapter. It means that during a chemical reaction mass is neither created nor destroyed. It means that a number of atoms on both sides of the equation should be same or equal. Now we will discuss the steps to balance chemical equation. First of all, you have to write unbalanced chemical equation. Then count the number of atoms on each side of the equation. Add coefficients to make number of atoms equal. When coefficient is multiplied to the subscript, then we get number of atoms. If necessary, reduce coefficients to lowest possible ratio. But you cannot change subscripts. In the start, girls, I told you that we never change subscripts, we just change coefficients. Update and double check atom balance. After balancing a chemical equation, then you will check on the reactant sides and on the product side that if the number of atoms are equal. And this method is known as hit and trial method or trial and error method. First of all, step 1, write an unbalanced chemical equation. An unbalanced chemical equation is written here. Then step 2, count the number of atoms on each side. So there are 2 oxygen atoms, 2 hydrogen atoms on the reactant side, while on product side there is 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. Step 3, add coefficients to make number of atoms equal on each side. So to balance oxygen atoms, we need to multiply this molecule or uh, the product by 2. Add coefficients to make number of atoms on each side. So here we have multiplied the whole molecule with 2. Remember students, coefficient can be added in front of a molecule, not in the middle of a molecule. So we have added here a coefficient in front of water molecule. It means that this water molecule is multiplied by 2. There are 2 water molecules. After multiplication, oxygen is balanced. Now there are 2 oxygen atoms on reactant side and 2 oxygen atom on product side. But after adding a coefficient, this subscript is multiplied by 2 and now there are 4 hydrogen atoms. So to balance hydrogen atoms, we will multiply this hydrogen molecule with 2. So now this is a balanced chemical equation and we cannot further simplify these coefficients. So this is the final equation. But we cannot change subscripts. Now update and double check work. We have checked our equation is balanced. Now we will apply these steps on this equation. Aluminium plus copper chloride goes to form copper plus aluminium chloride. First of all, write an unbalanced equation. Then count atoms on each side. It was the second step. There is 1 aluminium atom on reactant side, 1 aluminium atom on product side. 1 copper atom on reactant side, 1 copper atom on product side. Balanced. Third element is chlorine. There are 2 chlorine atoms on reactant sides while 3 chlorine atoms on product side. So we need to balance chlorine atoms on both sides of the equation. Third step is add coefficients to make number of atoms equal, and coefficient is multiplied to the subscript. Clear? So we will multiply this 2 by 3 and 3 by 2. Then we will get 6 answer. Then after multiplication, we see that here a number of aluminium atoms increases. To balance number of aluminium atoms, we will multiply aluminium by 2 on reactant side. And here by multiplication of copper chloride by 3, copper atoms also becomes 3. So to balance copper atoms, we need to multiply copper on product side by 3. This is a balanced chemical equation. So these are the balancing steps. First is write the unbalanced chemical equation, count atoms on each side of the equation, add coefficients to make number of atoms equal. Fourth step is reduce coefficients to lowest possible ratio if necessary, and the last step is double check atom balance. These are some helpful tips. First of all, balance most complicated compounds first. And another very helpful tip is that polyatomic ions should be balanced as single unit. Like if there is sulfate radical which is present on reactant side and on product side, then uh, keep it as it is, SO4 or sulfate radical, instead of writing sulfur and oxygen separately. And follow this sequence. Metals, first of all, try to balance metals, then ions, polyatomic ions, then non-metals, and always balance oxygen and hydrogen in the end or last. Last step should be to balance oxygen and hydrogen, or any diatomic molecule should be balanced uh, in the last. Clear? Students, you have to follow this sequence to balance a chemical equation. First of all, try to balance metals, then ions, any polyatomic ion, then non-metals, and all the diatomic molecules like H2O2, Cl2, or hydrogen and oxygen, they should be balanced in the end. Now, this is an example. So first of all, we have written an unbalanced chemical equation. We can see that there is one magnesium atom on reactant side, one magnesium atom on product side, two oxygen atoms on reactant side, while one oxygen atom on product side. So we will multiply MgO by 2. After multiplication, now oxygen is balanced. But now to balance magnesium, we need to multiply magnesium on reactant side by 2. So it is a balanced chemical equation, and now number of atoms are equal on both sides of the equation. This is a balanced chemical equation. Now aluminium reacts with sulfur to form aluminium sulfide. There are two aluminium atoms, so we will multiply aluminium by 2 on reactant side. And on product side, there are 3 sulfur atoms, so we will multiply sulfur by 3 on reactant side. So it is a balanced chemical equation. In this example, aluminium reacts with sulfuric acid to form aluminium sulfate and hydrogen. So you can see that there is one aluminium atom on reactant side, while two aluminium atoms on product side. And there is only one sulfate radical on reactant side, while there are three sulfate radicals on the product side. And there are two hydrogen atoms on reactant side, while two hydrogen atoms on product side. So we need to multiply uh, sulfuric acid by 3 to balance sulfate radicals. And after multiplication, we see that uh, 3 twos are 6, so there are 6 hydrogen atoms. So to balance hydrogen atoms, we need to multiply hydrogen molecule by 3, and to balance aluminium, we need to multiply here aluminium on reactant side by 2. So this is a balanced chemical equation. uh, Students, again, I am giving you some helpful tips that balance one element at a time. And um, polyatomic ions should be considered as a unit instead of writing the elements separately. And balance oxygen and hydrogen in the end. This is an activity. You have to practice these equations, and after practicing these equations, you will be able to solve this homework or assignment. You have to solve mini exercise, uh, which is given at page number 68. Then from exercise, you have to attempt question number 5.4, 5.5, and 5.8. These questions are about balancing of chemical equations. And students, keep in mind that practice makes perfect. So you have to practice the balancing of these chemical equations, and then you will discuss it with your teacher. And students, you have to do this work on your neat notebooks. I hope students you have understood the topic. Thank you, students, and Allah Hafiz.